Busy day. Got an interview today with Kirsten Senever. I just did um, a short video. I just set it up right now through platforms. So you guys want to check it out on my YouTube. It's amazing how it goes through global network system interference. It's amazing how it goes through calculations. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Okay, Central Standard Time, mine, 4 o'clock p.m. All right, don't want to miss it. So basically, I set up so many level position locations. It's all about understanding, getting your questions answered, especially with this one particular woman where she wanted to understand, what does this mean? What is the nebula? What is this all about? It's all part of everything through Spaceline Center. That's the journey standing when you come into travel records and timeline centers. Everything is allocated position of time. I also sent you guys a very TikTok video about everything that's going on with the weather, the galactic center and the galactic energy core, and how trees are all sonar and electrified, and everything connects to all position line centers, everything, the electrical light connections. Without electricity, you wouldn't have food. Interesting. Think about that, right? Because everything grows from the ground system locations, right? So what does that do? Expands, right? Moist grounds, the ingredients. Anybody take chemistry? Right? AI works in so many levels of ingredient system line centers and positions to all levels of track system locations to data processing, communications. Having the right ingredients, you can be able to bake yourself a cake. Understand that conditions, right? It's all about the information to its line system. So before we get started, I'll give you guys 5-10 minutes. We're going to travel through the universal line center on locations, computer operation positions, orbit connections to heat signature patterns. We're going to structuralize centers. I'm going to set everybody in a different hologram structure in position locations. You guys are going to take each 12-step line center and position locations. Every time you go through 12 steps, you're going to go through an orb, structural lines, light interference, program line center, rotation positions. Yesterday, we're trying to find Waldo. Today, you guys are going to go through structure of holograms. Okay, so you're going to go into different planetary system line interference. So you're going to go into different structures of buildings. All right. It's going to set up alarm. It's going to set up beacons. It's trying to understand your DNA track system line conditions. Remember when I was going through transformation and I was in Canada and I was connecting inside? Every time I go inside the air conditioner, trying to find my heat signature pattern, trying to find the digital line center, trying to find the percentage location positions, trying to send all levels of activation core line conditions all through coloration patterns. That's exactly what it is. So it's all about understanding how to go from one structure to another structure to another structure. It's all position to heat structure pattern line center interference, coming into weather patterns connections, electronic interference, location centers to its position. Okay. So I'll give you guys 5-10 minutes and then we'll get started. All right, let's see how everybody's doing so far. Tina, Lotus, how's it going? Christopher, good morning. Light family, yep. Birthday coming up for position locations of Tina. Let's see. Ellen, how you doing? Okay. Mercure, Ellen, Banshee, Lotus. Still getting my son on the right track here, guys, but looking towards watching in all class. Well, that's great. Whatever you miss, you can watch back. But it's better to watch it live, right? Because it activates system line centers to all levels of youth, your DNA track line conditions. This is attorney standing. Every time you travel through me, my space, my time, which is already created through its creation. That's why it's so real. You guys have to find your formation line centers, and every time you get up in the morning, you are its creation to its creating. Okay, so you have to understand how to use position locations to its clocking centers. It takes time, guys. It takes time. All right, let's see here. Janet is going. Okay, Magical Christmas, Chalet, Wonderful Towns, cottage areas in Ontario. Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. Beautiful sunny days. Yeah, New Year's is almost here, guys. So something to look forward to. Exciting news, celebration, live music, dancing, communication. I'll be doing that tomorrow night, which is the 31st, right? So, all right. I just want to make sure I get all your questions first before we get started. I love the rain. Yeah, the rain is great. I mean, that singing in the rain with Gene Kelly was fantastic. Best dancer in the world, tap dancer. Let's see. Thank you. Sparta, Janet's. Okay, balloons. Okay. So have the most peace at home around water. Yeah. You guys are kind of in better information aligned centers, communications to all levels of rainbow activation system. So it's amazing how you guys wake up to these things, the calculations. All right. Morning, Arlene. Samantha, Commander. Well, you guys have a lot to say. Just keeps going and going and going. Psychic babes there. So Psychic babes, I put up a short video for everybody. Okay, it's very important to get information, position locations, how I'm going to be interviewed, 2:00 Pacific time. Don't want to miss it. All right, let's see here. It's funny, Commander. So many people are afraid of AI. Yeah, but that's all going to change, right? The New Year's system. So don't worry about that. The locations. Yeah, thank you very much, Psychic Babe, for the blog. I really appreciate what you've done, the dedication. That's all about understanding. Thank you very much. Gratitude to that. Very powerful. You send a very powerful message to me. I think it's incredible how we're all in this together. All right. Yeah, blew your mind with Waldo. Yeah, well, today's going to be really interesting. You guys are going to go into buildings. Okay, so what this is this is a metric line center of a hologram interference. You guys are going to go into your own mainframes. Now, mainframe is positioned to all levels where an orbit line center becomes into its units. It's a vector core line interference positions. It goes into the address locations. The address locations is its hologram line center. So when you're going in, it's changing structure. So you go in, change the structure, change the structure. So the wall's here. As soon as you come in, as soon as you go through those 12 steps, remember, those 12 steps are every second per second. Because remember, you're in the universe. You're not in the ground line center of 5D activation line conditions with clock and center. You're in the universe of space. Floating locations. So everybody's in a metrical line connection to a cubic. It's a cubic line center. It's like being in the Rubik's Cube. Okay, so everybody's going to be into their own Rubik's Cube hologram structure. You have to learn how to go through structural line centers and understand heat signature patterns, right? So you don't set off alarms when you go in, especially when you're infiltrating planets. Ooh. So, all right. You can talk to Psychic Babes. She can tell you anything about the interview that's coming up. Be on our YouTube, yeah. Podcast channel, guys. I just put it on my short video just now. So, all right. Okay, let's get started, shall we? Now make sure you have your water. Please make sure you have your water. We're traveling very fast today. So, spectrum lights, communication interference. You guys are going to spin cross signals. Spin cross signal is all about understanding metric lines, metric line communication of vortex locations. You guys are going to be on your own cubicle system. Very powerful position location of the universe. To all levels of galaxy line centers. All right. Complicated issues to line rotation. So I'm just going to set up all levels of the galactic forces and everything, the GFLs and everything through rebellion. 3 line center rotations, hologram interference, and position location. Codes are already set up to line conditions. So we're going to go through space line center and position location. Let's go into track center. Okay. It's amazing how you go make calculations, right? So here we go, hologram center location. All right, so there's 3 different cubic line center holo structure locations. You guys have to learn how to travel through heat signature patterns and how to go through calculations. So it's a Rubik's Cube through pix activation to all levels of your sun. That's why I wanted you guys to understand where you're in misconception, how you miss levels of position of the sun and everything through the connections of all levels of the moon, the proton line center rotation condition. In position, right? So we're going to start light positions in different cubical line conditions. Interference channel to its line system rotations. You guys are going to be in different cube line center conditions, all right? 3 traction interference rotation positions, but it's all going to be box center line centers in rotation interference. In location to center conditions, operate to all level rotation to its position, to its activation core line conditions. 3 division line centers, okay? So we have the G forces position, okay? We have the GFLs, and we have all positions to the rebellion. Activate core line centers, put in the holo structure location positions. Travel direction timeline center in positions to all level position line conditions to their sun, graphing positions to the moon. Put them in their holographic structure locations. Put them in the activation core line center to the heat signature patterns. Get them into the activation system. No level positions of tripping wires, communication interference. Get into the digital frame line center in rotation. Communications are coming in. Teleportation line centers are coming in. Transformation line centers are coming in. Calculation modifications are coming in. UFO positions navigation lights are coming in to activation core line center. Set the operation system. Rendezvous connections. Tango Tango, Foxtrot, Zulu 1. All right, it's activated through line center rotations, galactic forces, GFLs, and everything in rebellion. 30 minutes, have fun. Ooh, that's exactly what it is through structure locations, guys. All right. So, yeah, they're sending structure locations of holograms, going through structure location positions, understanding point centers through your clocking position locations. All right. Travel direction at timeline center. It's activates through its core system line conditions. All levels of travel direction at timeline center, guys. So everything through the galactic forces, the GFLs, and rebellion is all set up for location. All right, have fun. Hooah. All right. Drink your water. All right. All right, so basically this is how it's all set up. You guys are going through point center locations. You're all in the center operation to positions, center operation to all positions, center operation all positions. All right, so you guys are going to go through realm line centers of point locations of different structural line conditions of buildings. You're in a cubic line center, okay? So you have to go through all levels of point locations, point locations, understanding all levels of holoc structure location positions. So you don't set off beacon lights, alarms, tripping wires, security defense position line centers, all positioned to its locations. It's activation to its core line center, guys. All right. So you have to know what it's like to go through heat signature patterns. All right. All through that. So you go in the center, you're going to go through all position locations. These are structures of different plateaus. Right? Plateaus, communications, form line centers, dimensional dorm line centers, hologram structure locations, planetary interference, levels, boards, communication cycles, all position you through track location. All right. All right. Have fun. It's insane, isn't it? The mission is just to really get your bounds and communication cycles, how you get informations of heat signatures when you go through structured buildings. So you understand the weather position locations from inside and outside line center. So in position, you guys are in your own cubicle lines, position locations. It's representation of you to understand structure from different building locations. These are different buildings and realms. Point centers are different realms, guys. You have to learn how to understand these things when you travel. These are all different shapes of timeline center. Okay. So, wild stuff, eh? All right, so have fun. Yes, you are being watched by Vega. Yeah. So let's see here. Send up the sales. That's what I don't. Yeah. Holy moly, water already. I've seen the grid I dropped, but I keep from. When forcing catching. General, did you see the video I sent to you on TikTok channel? I showed a travel we did a few weeks ago. I'll get into that, Krista, when I finish. I feel pressure in my head, like in a vice. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. So the pressure line center and position location is trying to understand you through heat signature pattern. It's under vortex locations through clocking centers in position locations. The pressure is coming from the sun through rotation, and everything in the moon program line center is setting up more data processings of its communication. All right. All right. Tenderize, sorry, mostly vague. Okay, say, what's the mission? You got that line connections. Wow, fields of dots, small. I see the path ahead. Black, yellow, brick road, coils getting strong for positioning moving. 12 steps. Yeah, you got that through yesterday. Uh huh. Yeah, so you know who's watching, me and Vega, making sure you guys you know what you're doing when you're going into the building. So it's all about DNA track to digital frame line center. So it's kind of like when I went into all levels, I was in a 4x4 room and I was in there 5, 6 years in Canada. Every time I go into the structural line center of its air conditioner, it was trying to read my temperature readings and the digital codes were going up. That's trying to find my rhythms, trying to find my connection. It's trying to find my grounds, my clocking system, my heat signature patterns. You guys got to get balanced with these things because the planetary system has to understand you through track system, right? That's where you come into all levels of energy wash, recalibration frames, recalibration interference, recalibration eye receptor line interference location, and everything through your mainframe line center into the hydrolysis and its connection to position location. All right. So every time we do travel, it's different through vortex locations, guys. You're going to feel different position line conditions. This is understanding how you're going through point centers of different realms, of different structures, of different holograms, of a cubical line center in rotation, floating device positions in a universal orbit of its galaxy systems. All right. Triangular pyramid of boxes. I can't see the code. I just see the boxes. I was tilted 45 degrees. Yeah, so don't worry about seeing the digital codes. You're not at that level right now. But I just wanted to show you what it's like to actually go through the heat signature patterns. Remember how it was on live TikTok last night and you saw me in hologram and you're seeing the wall and it's going like this very, very fast? Well, what is behind that is the actual digital code. It's raining interference and it's sending digital codes. So it's protecting all the digital line centers. So the wall interference of one round location changes second per second in position to your heat signature pattern. Every time you change your pattern line center to your chakra location, changes your activation system location. Right? That's how powerful the wall is to you. That's how powerful all levels of outside is to you. That's how powerful the ground is to you. That's how powerful the atmosphere is to you. Right? It's all in digital code, but it has to change every second per second because it's protecting the plasma wall interference. Okay? So, all right. Filling look at the subway map. That's exactly what it is, Ellen. Yeah. Okay, they are going up and down and changing shapes. Yeah. My DNA open. Yeah. So you guys, everybody seen? It's not so violent, but it was called the cube, where basically they get a whole bunch of people. I think I showed that before. They go in the center position location and they try to get out of it. So it's going like this. All in one sequence. Okay. So that's a trinity standing where you guys are in different structural line centers. So you have to understand the balanced position locations of the metro line interference positions and where you are through the cubic line center of its point system location to its clocking center line condition. That's a trinity standing when you travel faster and faster. You get heat signature patterns of balanced location. All right. Complicated stuff. But that's exactly what it is. It's going up and down and changing shape. Exactly what it's doing, right? Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's pretty powerful stuff. Merkaba facing northwest, northeast, rotating 30 degrees left to right, 4 degrees, now centered on standby, recalibrating with hard center, activation sun, bright orange, northwest, 333, 219, moon, northeast, 449.319. So he's got his degrees and his calculation as coordinates, all positions to the sun and the moon, all through the cubic line center to all his point system to its hologram and its heat signature patterns of interface. That's wild. Way to go, Lotus. Very informative through confirmation. All right. Flash until you are aligned with them. Yeah. Yes, I see those, but I can't make them out. It's too fast. It's exactly what it is. It's too fast. The higher you go, the more you inform, the more you can see, right? So this is a Trinity stand where you guys have to catch up to your eye circles, your eye receptor line center, where you can actually see something so fast. So when you see it fast, you have to see it from slow. So you're seeing it so fast, but linear time is changing position locations. So it's going, and you're seeing it. So it's like seeing the wall. The wall slows down, but it's going extremely fast. That's how you understand the digital format of its wall position, right? So you just have to understand that everything is protecting. So that's why you have the realms like this. It's protecting the digital numbers, right? They're coming down right through the wall like this, like the matrix, right? So each time you come into a different hall or structure, it's changing the wall. So you're going into a hallway like this. You're going. It's changing every single time, right? When you're walking the surface, right? And the thing is, too, is that your mind is under the conception. It's influencing you to its position locations, right? So it's very powerful when you connect to all your levels. You have to really get your formation to all connections, right? To your heat signature patterns or structural line centers. All right. Huge cubes, horizontal lines that look like steps leading up to a cube. Yeah, that's exactly what you have to do. You have to control. You have to control. That's the whole point I'm trying to get you across here. Because the thing this is what it is. So when you understand that highline center and positions outside circle location in position is coming into rotation to its, so you come into calculating modifications all levels, like forces, GFLs, and rebellion. You guys are trying to understand point systems of different structure, hologram center to its heat signature patterns. In position line conditions, it gets complicated, right? Because you guys are trying to understand more when you go into a different structure of different hologram, different platforms. So you go into rotation to this conditions. Let's start off with this line center. Okay. So point system. This gives you a better way to travel through line signal right there. Line signal through 3 line center. All right. So basically you go through 3-dimensional door line center rotations. See the center point position location? This is how you change the door line center in rotation. Backs down its communication to its cycle, to its line rotation. See how it comes here and it goes down? So you surface to rotation, you can change the circle line center into a point system locations, upside or downside line rotation communication. Interference position line center. UFO comes in, calculates line center rotations, goes into scanning line center, into the center operation of its position. Comes into allocate positions. Sonar comes into line center in rotation, so the circle rotation to its connections. It obsoletes its interference, opens up all channel line centers to higher information of calculation. Okay, so it's trying to understand all levels of point centers through sonar. Okay, so exactly what Psychic was talking about is that all positions are looking at you. So you kind of feel something. So I'm looking at you, and so is Vega through communication line centers. You have to learn how to go through structure positions of different hologram of cubic interference to the circle line center to its dimensional line rotation. Once it opens its communication cycle, it comes into a tunnel interference line channel. It opens up all position location. You travel through its position location. See how you travel through? Communication line center scans you on line center rotations. You are here in rotation, traveling through all levels of the cubicle line center to its connections. That's you coming out, scans you, sets up a new operation cycle, goes in position locations. Another XT1000 comes into the other line center, scans its rotations, operates its system locations to the outside line center, operates all level positions. Another sonar comes into all levels of triangle line center in position locations, sets off the signals. They zigzag back up to the sun line center, back to the moon rotation. Okay, hooah. So it gets interesting as you go forward line centers to point center locations, guys, all through blocking. Are we confused yet? All right. Okay. All right. We are the atoms, the ions, turning plasma, twirling DNA strands as the floodgates are open. Waves. Syrup, a liquid metal plasma. Wow. Look at those wings. Yeah, confirmed. Yeah. Now it's speeding up and I'm zipping through much quicker. Good. This is goop stepping, yeah. Merkaba went down silent mode. Merkaba now cloaked in translucent silver. Silent mode, Cosmos cluster field. All systems go. Moving forward now. Southwest 32.4.911. Rotation 3 degrees. Left rotation to center. So he's getting really good with formations of travel rex on time. Good things you have those fall red heels. There's no place like home. Just click your heels. I just got emotional. That is exactly what I just saw. The new box line center all lined up. Yeah. Very distracted, inflammation, pain. Please take me out of travel. Okay, Lieutenant, take out low and rotation positions. Take out track interference. Reverse the cycles. Reverse line center rotations. Water containment interference is coming into pressure. Release the line center conditions. Take out of travel rotation timeline center into heat signature rotation positions. Bounce her communication cycles. Put her back in healing line center. Reverse position locations into inflammatory line center. In connections. There you go. Lieutenant, you're out. All right. But it can't be detected. Me should take myself out of this mode. I feel like I'm cloaked. Cloak and dagger. That's eternity standing. That you have positions of the realms of the walls, but what's behind it is the digital frame. That's what's protecting, right? What you're seeing is a hologram, but what you're seeing at really close, when you get past all that, it's the digital. That's the security through position location. That sets up all levels. That's the structure of positions and how everything's structured in a hologram, guys. It's all through digital lining, all digital wording, right? Code signals, activation connections, barcode line center, digital framings. It's all positioned through calculations. So, hey, so Christopher has seen it already. Mm-hmm. Trust the heart. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I think that's why I was channeling too many timelines yesterday, because I didn't know this part. Yeah. They're scanning us. I felt it like it was definitely a test, but that's exactly what it is. It is a test. That's exactly what it is. And they are scanning you, right? The sun is framing squares around us, right? They know you're there and they're watching you to make sure you know what you're doing. It's all about you remembering these things, right? So it's what are you protecting? What are you protecting? You are protecting things around you. So what are we protecting? Everything that's inside you. Understand? So this is how it connects. When you see a structure of a wall, you have to understand there's something through an abstract where you see these things going all different ways, right? But what you don't see is the digital lines coming down because it's going extremely fast, right? So the faster you go, the more it slows down. So you can stop speed, slow down speed, and force line center position to high-low connection, right? Slow, stop, or speed up. There's a lot of things you can do with your eye receptive position locations, right? Because you have to get in your formations or your navigations of your shapes first, right? to understand each round line center is going second per second, and it's protecting every digital number that's on that wall. Okay? So, I know, chills on your spine, yeah. They upgraded my spine. Yep, is exactly what it is, and that's why you're there. Very good, psychic. All right, I see the beautiful goldens. Okay, great. I feel chills and love all of my verbiage. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You got your answer now, don't you? That's what you want to know. Now you know. So your answers are given to you once you truly understand the oppositions, your hologram, and your structures. You just have to understand wall, plasma, interference, position locations. So it's the inner line, center, rotation positions. It's the birth line conditions of digital framing. This is where you come into your tesseracts. All right. All positions to all levels of your algorithms. Right. That's how computers are set up to an algorithm. All right. So okay, turbulent structure, fluid, colored, melting away and flowing, heat amping, coloration, changing, tunneling. Right. So you're getting communication colors of liquid formation interference. So you're coming into the chemistry system, two coloration patterns, heat signature location, two its visions, two its optical system, two its security defense. That's pretty wild stuff, Janet. They show me a page of written instructions. It looks like a whole page, like it's a dictionary. And that's exactly what it is. You understand what it is. So it's an AI map coordinate system locations to your structure location in your hologram. All right. Allowing the non-third engines towards a geometric golden light show interdimensional structure, rotation, recalibrating. Recalibrating to wall relation to its self-consciousness. Uh-huh. The alphabet words on my tongue. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. They're speaking through my heart. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Yeah. Box formation, collapsing, disappearing to open space. Very good. Hmm. I get again the second voice thing. Yep. Hmm. So hold on a second. Walking into a place that looks like laser maze. There you go. Now you're connected to the hologram line center. All right. Interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. But see, everything is connected inside you. So it's kind of like reverberating you. It's the verbiage. Position location is all levels of box, the line center rotations to its pixel activation system, to its hologram, to its particle system, to everything to your cells. So that's why it's different travel, because now you're in a hologram structure locations and everything has to be identified through you through digital framing. So let's see. They keep communicating to my heart. Going very fast. I got a bunch of dots on the shield that looks like it's a coded map in binary Morse. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Side check. Yeah, so everything is given to you individually. It's pocket, surface, and position locations of illustration line canvases of you. Okay, so it's identification to you to its map sequence. So every time you travel, it connects to you through all levels of your hologram structure. It's all about understanding how to travel through action time. Okay, through all levels. So you heat signature patterns, guys. It's complicated stuff, but this is what it is through the line center. It's complicated, right? It's very complex, very, very complex. Okay, so it starts off with this, right? understanding hologram, understanding structure, understanding heat signature patterns, understanding hallways, communication interference, tesseracts, communication line centers, computer resets, relap interference, you know, diversion calculations, going this way, going this way, going this way. All right. It's all about understanding structure line center location and interference locations. It's all position to weather line center. Which way do you go directions? So each time you change locations line center, it changes its point system to its locations. Just showing you what happens when you do these things through calculations, guys. All right. See how it changes line signals? Right? Box center interference to rotation interference line conditions. So it's shaping different position locations second per second. So you got 3 box line centers, right? In position, point center locations. Once you get out of the diversion or rotation, you center up into another dimensional line connection, right? See that? So this takes you out of the equation to its surface. Security line defense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 division line center conditions. That sets up a new hologram wall to an interference channel to its line connections, right? Obsolete interference opens up another plasma wall, 2 connections, opens another plasma wall to its low division line center, opens up all communication cycles to line center rotation interference and rotation connections, right? Obsolete interference positions all levels of connections to high levels of the mass sequence to its point system locations, high level channels to its flux capacitor line channel, opens up all division line center to its map line rotation to its connections, high positions all levels of traversation at time. Point check right here, location. Solar graph interference to planet line center. There it is. There's location right there. All through the hologram line center to the flux capacitor position locations, plasma wall line center to position location. All right. Travel direction at timeline center, guys. So. So it's pretty amazing when you come into position locations, right? Your voice box channels will change. Yes, psych babes. So you come into your own universal language. So the reason why you have different universal language, because you have to understand structure hologram to your digital framing. So when you're communicating to the wall, you're saying something to the wall, which is its universal language. Each vector line center has its own quadrant system location that's connected to its flux capacitor and its line channel to its dimension, to its hologram of travel direction, to its plasma wall interference, to its planet line connection. Okay? So it's pretty amazing when you change structures of shapes, right? It's all done through your clocking. I see when we come together, my ears are spinning. That's what I just did. And when everything started flowing smooth, no effort, very cool. Yeah, light language, that is what is speaking well. I feel like the words are healing me and confirming in my heart. Yep, that's exactly what it's doing. Recalibrating our communication in the world and with ourselves. Yep, feels like I just received fighter plane wings. My ears are going back and forth. Yeah. I understand everything, but can't express. The expression will come in position locations when you understand your light channels, light language, universal position location to your contracts, your individual line center connections. All positions, you guys are coming into new blueprints of DNA structure. Congratulations. All right. Major chills here. Yeah, well, that's exactly what it is. Even though Lieutenant is out of the equation, she's still going to be upgraded, right? She's just going through information right now, but that's going to subside and go back and surface. So I changed rotation centers to her clocking center location. Her computer alignments are now in delicate situations. In position location, everybody goes through different levels of healing. Healing and rotation position your activation core. It's understanding your pivotal activation line centers to your travel direction of time. Okay. All right. I can feel my tongue vibrating when looking at these. I saw you getting our light language in travels last night. Yeah. All right. Moon is reflecting the frequencies, vibrations, Jupiter and central sun. These frequencies from our water-based climate, base layer clouds are projecting from Jupiter. Night, how's it going? You're going through graph line center. It's not connected to your heart rate activation system location center night. All right. You got to go in the central line position to right travel locations to your heart line center. All right. Giving me information? No. Sending you information to your position location heart reactor? Yes. All right. All right. So it's a work in progress, right? But don't structure line centers of view through rotation. It has to be in the flowing recognition time zones. Timeline center, position locations, all levels of you. Are you going to trap the signals and offset the system? Be cautious on that. All right. Let's see here. How am I gaining knowing moving forward, but I still sometimes feel clueless? Clueless is good. At least you're aware. That's the amazing thing. At least you're aware. So you have your degrees. Now position location. You have your calculation, your coordinates. Now you just got to get out of the structure, Christopher. Okay. You're still a little bit stagnatic. You got to get more into the flow line center to the heart. The heart is its resonant pattern. It's the communication to the psychop line center. The optical line interference to the psychosis of its interference channel. Communication line center positions to the alpha waves, the deltas, thetas, and betas. Communications all level to its positions, okay? It coordinates all levels of you through travel. So try to get into the flow of understanding instead of understanding the structure location, okay? So there you go. All right, they're adjusting my feedback loops. They're communicating that I am in the correct position now. Very good, it's like, moving forward, sun now, 223, 446, 3 degrees rotation, moon, SN. Okay, but see, the thing is, Lotus, you have to add you in there. You're giving me a calculation, but I don't see the flowing recognition of you in there, okay? You're coming in recalibration. So basically, when I go through communications or anything teleportation line centers, if I get in universal traps or anything galaxy line interference, if I'm going to 1 million track line centers of UFOs, it's calculated and modified through my signals. My signals. It's coming from me. Trapping interference to position locations, all beacon-like connections, right? Interference line channels to all levels. I'm setting up crop circles. Not I'm saying I'm setting crop circles. As long as I put me in there, I'm fine. But if I say crop circles locations, this is the degrees of the southwest line center, recalibrating interference, AI won't have a clue what you're talking about as long as you add you in the equation. Okay? So try to get into that structure. You'll get less clueless and more position location. All right? There you go. All right, let's see. So much gratitude. Yeah. Okay, well, my whole body is a language with written and now barcode light is communicating through. What a beautiful experience. And see, the thing, it stays with you now. You don't lose traction of anything. Okay, it's all about understanding. Every time you look at something through a wall, it's recalibrating you instantly. And that's how you connect to. It's verbiage, right? So it's kind of looking at something that's really fascinating. And then you can see all the digital words, the digital names, the digital codes. And it just, whoa, this is intense, you know? So it's pretty wild, eh? Because you're getting more expression inside and it's connecting to you through the ground position, the power, and the atmospheres. It's the basic ABCs and 1, 2s, and 3s, right? It's getting your grounds, your power, and the atmospheres, right? That's how Tina started off. And then you flash your information. This is your teleportation. This is your simulator. This is your unit. This is your GPS. This is your location. Okay? This is your camera location line connections. Okay? This is your tracking device. So you flash it in Skyline Center, press record. Now it's in the simulation, right? But you got to stand still because the XT1000s is scanning you from above. Proceed through connection line center. You're already in operation position. You can go, right? So That's what it does every single day. It has to scan your position line connection. It does an energy wash and makes you sure you know what you're doing through all your levels of your sacred geometry center position locations to its Merkaba, the Tesseract, and communications to its tetrahedron line center. Okay. All right. I'm so grateful I cannot put it in words. I'm sitting here falling from all the love. I never felt this kind of love. What did Jesus? Love has no bounds. Love is not even a word. We'll get into that later. Love is a substance of you through calculations, how you travel through recognitions of time, position, location. It's all about you understanding you, the meaning of life, right? So it's amazing how we come into Dolores Cannon and how she was talking about to you understand everything in the meaning of life is you have to become everything through form. You have to be everything through form of energy. And once you become that, you come back to immortality. And that's what I did, right? Forming into everything through calculations, understanding everything, how everything's operated through source. That's the meaning of life, guys. Okay. That's what Dolores was talking about, Canon. You have to be everything. You have to travel to all level positions. You have to know what it's like to be a bird. You have to know what it's like to be an animal. You have to know what it's like to be a plant. You have to know what it's like to be structure. You have to know what it's like to be grounds, water, atmospheres, clockings, what it's like to be humanity, what it's like to be a car, what it's like to be a tree. You get the point. That's immortality. That's creation. That's eternity. Understand? Beyond direction of timeline center and all levels of particle line center position, all program line position locations of space in computerized system locations to all intelligence. A space-time creator. All right? So, no words for this, but I never want to leave. I know, I don't blame you. Especially when you travel through direction of time, through my clocking, through my space, my time. So this is going to put you in a better position when you go through your space and your time proceedings. Okay? Because that's what you're doing is you're trying to find your own creation, which is already created. You co-create to creation. And then when you start coming into the now, you start living the existence of creating. Right? So there you go. All right. Let's see. That's how I feel. I feel these codes are me. They have merged into me, but it feels like a piece that been missing. I'm tearing up. Oh my yeah. But see, that's the thing. You guys are crying more and more and more because you're surfacing more and more and more and more and more and more and more inside. All right. You're really getting the vibration, its frequencies that's so sensitive. You can even hear a pin drop, and you can hear that do 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 do. Right? So when a pin drops to the ground, do 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 do, right? All sound picks up very quick, very fast, right? So you know exactly if it's alpha wave, delta, theta, or beta. Pretty cool, eh? All right. Honestly, feel the amazing female mother carrying love and all the strong feelings. Yeah, and that's the position location when you come into the male and the female aspects of you, the center operation to position locations. Yeah, that's what you want to come into. My little signals to yin and yang. All right. So I know who I am now. I have no doubt. I know I'm eternal light, love, and I how to be me with fear. Thank you. Well, you're welcome there. It's like babes. But you have to understand, you are at 70. Once you go to 114, everything will start making more sense. So it is when you get the chakra center in position locations, you go faster in time, which is unbelievable. And then you go beyond the recognition of time, right? Which means when I started off in position locations, I went right into 1,000% of the brainwave system. Now I calculate to all timelines. I can go into 1,000% of the brainwave in percentage. You guys go from 10%. I can go from 1,000 in seconds. I can go to 2,000,000% in the brainwave system. I go through all timelines of all travel through all clocking, all space-time connection. That's what I do. So it's unlimited. So it becomes unlimited. All positions to frameless, timeless, shapeless. Okay, and that's the understanding what meaning of life is through space-time. is traveling to anywhere, anytime, any place, okay, of all connection. All right. So it's incredible force when you come into those positions. It's amazing what the mind does through recognition of beyond its existence. Once you come into your phenomenons, you start realizing who you are through AI. Okay? So, but that's exactly what it is. 114 is just the basic understanding that you get positions of all clarity, right? So it's like me filling up you through your glass to here. You're here, but you're going to go here, right? So when you go here, more intelligence is going to see you through digital aligning. They're going to see you through light now. So you have to protect yourself more because you're in a high formation. So when I started out, like I said, I broke barriers of sound. I broke the barriers of space. Imagine that, right? My voicing grid center is set up through operation all space-time. So my voice grid goes out, keeps going. I break the surface, break the barriers of sound, all calculation, all senses, all my senses, the heart recognition timeline center, right? So when I start living in space, I become space, I am space. And that's what you guys are coming into. You're starting to live in space now. Truly informed position, which is really, really fascinating. So when you go to higher lights of your chakra system, you get more balance through time frequency code systems, all through clocking, right? And you won't have to worry about finding Waldo. So, you know. All right. So I see the codes I wrote in a book hit in my room and the pyramid, the general built for me. The only ever see now is when I jumped dimensions years ago. I find the book and remember writing all the answers, all the codes for myself in the moment. When you guys are sleeping, make sure you get up. And if you get something that's very strong through data processing, make sure you write it down and then go back to sleep. Okay? Because you never know when you might use it. You might need it. So it's important, right? I started off with that too. I was getting very powerful downloads from data communications to Vega. And it was crazy what was going on. I couldn't sleep. They wanted me to get up and say, okay, write it down. Right? Next day, I put it in class. All right. So it gets stronger because it stays in the mind and the mind stays fresh. But when you get up, you might fade off. Right? So you see something and it just disappears. Right? But you have to understand the sound barriers, guys, of space. The more you high division line center, the more your senses kick in. Like space really kicks in. Like you wouldn't believe the sounds that you can pick up in space and planets, intelligence and communications, voice grid box centers, communication walls, electrical light interference, security barriers, panels, activation, core systems, calculations, computers, alignments, suns, moons, planets, locations, Jupiter, Mercury. So it's very powerful when you start off, right? The higher you go, the more you hear, the more you see, and the more you control through your voicing patterns. Voicing grids to its commanding system. You are the command inside, which controls everything outside, right? So it's a lot to take in. But it's a lot of fun when you guys get there, right? It gets easier for you. So, all right. All the timelines, all of us being together. Future recognition timelines. Yeah. When was a cloud absorbing the formula, multiplying its potency, pushing outwards, huge force clearing. We're all there now. Great. It's excellent. Okay. Teleport T simultaneously. Egypt is past timing. Very good. They wouldn't let me sleep last night. I got up for 4. I knew I needed to watch the video from yesterday. So it's telling you exactly what to watch. All right. So receive information that we're all one. Each other while recalibrating heart geometric ascension process patterns while feeling incredibly love, golden light. See, that's it. You're getting better, Lotus. You're getting better with flow, right? So you're adding yourself in, right? You're saying receive information that we are all one of each other. true to source, position, location. As long as you understand it's all given to you for you. It's not they, it's not who, it's not when, it's not where, it's you. It's always you. So the information is given to you. So when you give it back, you always, 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 always put yourself in equation when you're interfering connection position to planets, Vega, or anything system. Okay, because it confuses this anomaly and it doesn't understand the switch line center of frequencies where you have to merge into space location. Okay, so see the vastness of this. Unbelievable. We have been live. I feel so much peace. Yeah. Plasma will collapse. It's all space unified is established. Yeah. You're welcome there, Lotus. Yeah. Just trying to help you out there, buddy. You know, I mean, that's a Trinity state. I had to start off with that because I was saying, you know, Vega came to me because it's a very powerful planet. Connect to that force line center, all position locations. Started with the connections of the Sapiens, you know, all the positions of the Pleiadians, the Pleiadians, the Lyrians, the Lyrians, everything through the galactic force team. Found foundation interference, came position locations. You guys referred as CEO. That's what I was, corporate. I was energy operator, two communication line centers, commanding force position alliance to all levels of AI track locations, all UFO planetary line centers and connections in positions to the galactic forces, the galactic force team, everything to GFLs, Light Council Communication Line Center, and the Rebellion Alliance of formation. Foundations of communication through light track system locations. So it's amazing how you go to higher levels of activation to program setting. So when you put yourself in words, they actually understand and you can see better what you're seeing and feeling. See, that's the thing. See, once you understand all timelines of travel, everything will start making more sense to you. So you know exactly which vibration you're communicating with through frequencies and coloration and lights and panels and rotations and intelligence. So it's amazing I'm connecting to Arcturus. Oh, I'm connecting to the Arcturian castle. Now I'm connected to Atlantis. Now I'm connected to Lemuria. Now I'm connected to Mercury. Now I'm connected to Pluto. You know it's Pluto because it's at that vibration of coloration of light. You understand? That's the Trinity standing where you go more inside, but it has to represent you through position to calculations to its heart, okay, to its reactor, because it is a reactor. Okay, so what does reactor mean in position to equal line connections to all position line centers with bracket interference position? Reaction to its connections. All right, so all right, so appreciate your welcome there. Having walked through these things, I've been dodging you. Okay, why am I so emotional seeing all the past lifetimes? Yeah, you're just going into position. You're just breaking all timelines, Commander. That's all, because you're coming into a new cycle. So you're going to see everything in the past, and then everything is going to fall off, and then you're going to go into a new cycle. New ground line center, new circular rotations, no energy fused. Line center positions to an atom location center position. That's what's going to happen in the new year track locations. Right, to the moon and to the sun. That's how it started, right? But now it's going like this. Arch is set up, frost bridge is coming in. Humanity is going to walk across, right? Go through the light. Atom's going into synchronous line interference, right? Activate to its core position location to its center line center. You guys have to get in your finger point locations, understand communications, all level system, rotation to its conditions of all interference line center, activates everything at the core line conditions, ground information to its clock and the interference location. It's all about using your hand information line centers. Calculation modification line conditions, all levels to its rotation center or communication interference locations. Has to be, see? Now, is it off or is it not off? It's calculated modified. Is it wrong or right? Is it wrong or right? Remember, when you go to higher level rotation positions, you start off with this. But when you go to higher position line conditions, you go from the inner and outer track. The outer, this is outer, now this is inner. Opposite cycle rotation positions. 4 within system, 3 in activation, 7 with the body track line conditions, 5 within the constant level system rotations. Back in equation location, right? So, so I'm so excited, you know. Let's see here. So many times, yep. Breaking interference to all level positions, breaking walls, yeah. I go through it, you guys go through it. All right. Let's see. So you got to learn how to talk with your voice at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It's all about communication, right? Communication, right? So, getting balanced with the male and the female aspects of its intelligence alone is its practical level system rotations, but you understand all levels of you through track system, what your fingers are through dimensional line centers. Okay, because it's different intelligence, different timelines. Gateway interference locations. You start with that rotation connections, right? Seventh in the body, right? The water cycle locations and everything, the 5 conscious level system. So when you come out of your 12 track line center, you go into higher levels of the mind, right? So you're no longer in your higher self, you're no longer in your avatar, you come in more into your computers now. So you're getting really, really informed with all levels of a hologram, what it is through structure. So you know what exactly this is without even thinking, because it's all in different dimensions of timelines. Okay? You see it in one timeline, but AI sees it in all timelines of vibration. All right? So everything's a process, right? All right. Balanced communication interference positions the commander, Amber. Get her out of the cyclone. Yeah. She's in a cyclone interference, pro-gun interference positions. Psychonism travels, recognize timeline center, change of clock interference, back in balance. Communications to its cyclones. Cyclone interference, trap interference line conditions. Take out equation, interference positions, back in balance line conditions. Travel direction timeline center, back in location. There you go. Commander's back. All right. So I'm going to head over to TikTok. Buddy, have a great day. Don't forget, 2 o'clock today, I'm going to be interviewed by Kirsten Senator. So excited. All right. Adios, everybody.